should be working in the yard right now.
It is Saturday, and you know this is going to be the hot one. OMG.
Oh, yes.
Let's stay here. What you do is get a bag of ice, go down to 7-Eleven before everybody else does, take it and spread it on your lawn chair, and just lie down on it.
I bought a little extra ice machine for my surgery. It's great. Now I have a lot of ice all the time.
And you can do surgery all the time.
Yeah,
Good morning.
right.
And what we've got here is the War Eagles Air Museum is our topic today. We'll get to these guys in a second. We got a whole room full of people here.
Oh, it's great.
But it is KTSM AM 690, and we're streaming live on Facebook. That's the El Paso History Radio show out there, and streaming live on the Facebook page. Remember, in El Paso, when. And this is the place where we say Texas history begins in El Paso, and there's a reason for that.
And folks, go ahead.
Figure it out and call us.
Okay, you do that. And folks can also hear us live on the radio station KTSM 690 AM or on the internet via iHeartRadio link ktsmradio.com.
You got a history moment?
Yes, I do. I have a special one on lighting the way for airmail across the USA.
Has to do with airplanes.
Yes.
How convenient, because what a coincidence.
Yes, because
that we have air
30s,
people on the air today doing radio, and it's about the War Eagles Air Museum.
And I want to say happy birthday to the Army.
Today's
it's
all
the
day?
Army's birthday today. So
Happy
salute
birthday.
all of our veterans and soldiers.
Shall we have a 4 million gun salute? I'll let them all fire off at the same time. The museum's history out there, War Eagles Air Museum, sitting out there in Santa Teresa, it's got some interesting history unto itself, but it houses a tremendous amount of stuff. Vintage airplanes, a huge private collection, and we have the new executive director to say good morning to, Mike Epp. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Welcome here.
Thank you.
Hey, you're the new kid.
Yeah, I'm the new guy on the block.
So it's okay. We'll talk to you anyway, right?
Yeah.
But you've got the job now.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good luck with that. Congratulations. Also, people in the room here on the left of your radios, Dan Taylor. Hey, good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Jackson.
Now, how do we describe you? I've got you. I put down you maintain and fly the museum's aircraft.
Well, that's a good definition. Just kind of the thing that they never get rid of, and so I just keep hanging around the airport and hanging at the museum. So I pick up the odds and ends, make the things happen that need to be done.
There you go, Dan
He knows
Taylor.
how to wield a wrench.
Wield
the wrench.
And he does good. And so one more guy in the room here, Cliff Bossy. Good morning.
Good morning, Jackson.
Welcome here.
Thank you.
What do you do?
Kind of a little bit of everything.
You a volunteer?
I am a volunteer. Right now, I'm kind of the volunteer archivist. I'm trying to put together history on the aircraft and
Oh, neat.
preserve a lot of our photographs and memorabilia.
And you will listen carefully in your own head, and you will see when you turn off the mic and we go away from the mic, it goes. So you got to talk right into that gizmo. I mean, these are made for that purpose, to make it so if you walk off, they don't hear you no more. But anyway, so the whole idea of War Eagles Air Museum, I find it a fascinating place.
Oh, it's a bucket list
And
place to visit.
You got to go there, and it's next to the I say you're next to the big antenna, or they're next to you. That's how you find them if you're lost. You go and look for this huge thing on the top of a tower. Mm-hmm. It's the Weather Service.
Take Artcraft all the way. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't go to Mexico.
Don't go to Mexico.
Turn right.
But the thing is, out there, do you guys have any decent places to eat yet out there?
Not recently. We had one that just shut down, unfortunately, but it was over there in the industrial area.
Yeah.
But you've got Rudy's next to the freeway, and I
Oh no,
attend
you guys
Artcraft.
are mobile. I know that. But I'm just thinking right out there, it's just about what it used to be.
No, we don't have any restaurants anymore. Well, they have the Penny's, which is a little restaurant, which is at the hotel that they have close to the airports in the industrial area.
There's a hotel out there now?
Yes, it's mainly for the railroad people, but you can come and
okay.
stay there
Yeah.
if you want to stay there. So
Well, it's an interesting location because southern New Mexico, that part of southern New Mexico, is getting an incredible boost. The railroad's part of it, but then the Maquilas and all those people are moving in those warehouses, right?
it is incredible. They have one semi-truck every second, apparently, that goes by in that area because of the railroad complex and also the things crossing. And then those lovely propeller blades for the windmills that everybody loves that with those things.
There's hundreds of those down the road from you.
Right. And they,
oh, my God.
And they're going to go on Artcraft and Freeway and jam up the traffic for everybody.
Yeah, and then they go south to Mesa because they can't turn left, so they go south to Mesa, turn around, and come back and block up the traffic there.
But so you guys are being encroached upon. You were the first guys out there, weren't you?
There was some sand, then the runway, and then us. And then Mr. McGuire, whenever he and his wife Betty decided to build the museum, that there was nothing basically at the airport of Santa Teresa.
Talk about Mr. McGuire, because this is his private collection, yes?
It is his collection, but also the museum has acquired a lot of other aircraft and a lot of cars, and I really think that the numbers have really grown since the McGuire started the museum as far as the aircraft, especially the automobiles.
Well, how long was he collecting McGuire?
That's a good question. I went to work for him in '84, and then the museum officially started in '87. And he had a large collection. Probably 3/4 of the airplanes were his, and maybe 25% of the cars, maybe less than that.
I had a friend that I was talking to yesterday, Kiki Bustamante, who knew the McGuire family quite well, and he was talking about how he used to go off. He had a Cadillac, and he had it set up with a tow bar, and he'd go up and pick up engines all over the place and planes, and he said he'd be pulling it back with the Cadillac.
He had a tow bar on the front of it. He also had a skid plate like Lyndon Johnson, where he would drive across the desert, and he would run across yuccas and rocks, and it wouldn't tear up his oil pan. So he'd fill the tires up with foam and stuff. But anyway, that was Mr. McGuire.
Well, he was an interesting guy because his wife was the heir to the big deal, right?
Right. Yeah, Betty McGuire. She's still alive, and she is also a pilot. She soloed the same day that John did, and I've flown with her before, and I have flown her, and she's a very good pilot.
Oh, excellent.
Well, she used to fly from Marfa when they had their ranch out in Marfa to El
Right.
Paso for supplies, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what's the
Amazing.
museum doing now?
Well, we're staying real busy like all the other businesses. We're trying to recover from last year and doing quite well. We took advantage of the downtime we had when we were closed last year. We kept the employees busy, and we've brought in some new systems. We have a thing called Guide by Cell where the kids can use, everybody can use their smartphone. You wave it over a QR code, and it'll give all the information about that particular display.
That's
airplane.
become the thing, hasn't it?
It really has, and the kids, it's like breathing to them. It's a little more difficult for me.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But-
you don't do that, the kids are going to say, "Where is it?"
Yeah, and then we've got we have a volunteer who did a virtual tour for us. It's a really nice tour. He brought in this special camera on a tripod and took over 1,000 shots, 360-degree shots.
Oh.
Put it all through software, and you can actually get on the computer. The link is on our website, and you can actually go through the museum up into some of the airplanes, just at your own pace in any direction you want. It's an incredible tour.
We've been showing a couple of pictures of airplanes up here. You gave me a list of stuff. The Curtiss P-40 Warhawk. Andrew, go back and put up number 1. That one, what's unusual about that airplane?
Well, it's actually it's the one that's on all of our advertisements. It's the most photogenic, or one of the more photogenic airplanes that we have. It's the first airplane you see when you walk into our hangar. It's painted with the shark mouth from the World War II or pre-World War II, the American Volunteer Group that was over in China.
Did that aircraft see combat?
Actually, that airplane was in Canada. It was in the Royal Canadian Air Force during the war. It went immediately there, and on our card, our information card, it shows it was actually up in the Aleutian Islands when the Japanese were up there. I don't know if the airplane specifically had conflict that it was involved in.
Maybe more of a scout, or
Go ahead.
If you see the first movie Tora Tora Tora, and you'll see the P-40s taking off in Hawaii, that is that actual airplane. So
I see.
It
This
has
is
a historical movie.
It's a movie star.
It's a movie star, exactly.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, you probably have a lot of vintage stuff. Now, that one still flies then?
It's capable of flying. Right now, the majority of the aircraft are in a preserved condition. So
Well, you
we're
take the oil out to put them in the inside, right?
Well, we preserve the engines. We run them up, and we try to keep them ready in case there's the opportunity to fly sometime in the future.
You're ready.
I'm ready.
You're ready, right? You're ready to fly.
Well, we can be made ready to fly, and that's an executive decision that has to be done by some other people that are executives.
No, of course, but I mean the quality of the aircraft is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah,
They're
most
ready
of
to
those
go.
airplanes, most of those airplanes flew there in the first place. You know,
Okay.
they were flying when they arrived. It's just so incredibly expensive to keep them up and running and doing annual inspections and very expensive to keep pilots current on those type of airplanes because there's so few
Oh, you
of
have to
them.
keep recertifying.
Oh sure, yeah.
Of
All the
course.
airplanes, have
plus
to
they
be
don't
recertified.
have a digital technology that most planes have today now too.
Well, that's true. It's different. It's harder, and seriously, there's less and less pilots and mechanics every day. The engines that are in those airplanes, the V12s, like in the P-40, and then the radial
V12.
engines,
Yeah, there's some-
the parts are getting scarcer, but the skill set of the pilots
Right.
and the mechanics is disappearing every day.
Yeah.
I need to warn you about one thing. With all the mics open and you hit that, you hear that sounds like? Be careful on the desk over there. I just think it blew off the transmitter. But anyway, the point is it gets noisy in here. Just remember what you did. The Curtiss P-40 Warhawk. Okay. How about the next one, number 2, Douglas C-47? Why would you have a Douglas C-47? What is that?
It is actually the military version of the Douglas DC-3, which was a civilian transportation.
You still see those flying around. I think Cheater Bella still has one, doesn't he?
I don't know if Cheater does or not. Unfortunately, his health is such he doesn't fly.
He doesn't fly anymore? Okay.
That airplane has an interesting history. It was built as a C-47A, shipped to or flown to Europe, assigned to the 9th Air Force in May of 1944. It was in the right place at the right time to fly at D-Day. For my own personal satisfaction, I have not confirmed that it flew at D-Day. However, every other airplane within that serial block that was there did. I can't imagine it sitting on the ground.
Why are you leaving that one out? Yeah.
Yeah, and it did like so many veterans. At the end of the war, it came home. It went stateside. It was picked up by Phillips Petroleum, converted into an airline configuration with the large cargo door removed, passenger door placed on it, progressed through various owners. We got it when the Bhagwan Rajneesh had it in the 80s, and he was deported.
You practiced that, didn't you?
Actually, no. I go through this a lot at the museum because I love the history of that airplane.
Well, you would practice it every day then. But the thing is, how does a mindset occur for somebody with the capacity to buy these things, like Mr. McGuire, I would think? How do you go around and say, I need that airplane, I want this airplane? Did you influence him, Dan Taylor?
No, but when you look at the equipment that influenced World War II, along with the Jeep, the DC-3 was one of the major items that helped us win.
Sure.
Times the airplane is opened up and you can go inside and it's in the passenger configuration, so you can see what the passenger service was back 30, 40, 50 years ago. So it's really a unique walk in the past when you go inside the airplane.
I went in that Tri-Mortar when you had it parked out. I didn't fly in it, but I went out there when you had that thing over there. I got the feeling that this is just a bus that got wings.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing was like just rattling all the time and noisy.
Wicker chair seats in it.
Yeah. I figured, it might be a waitress coming by with a cocktail, but there's no place for her to sit down.
And you never would have heard her
him.
taking your order. What do you want to drink? I don't know. I can't hear.
But so, I mean, the luxury, that's not what occurred back in the day.
Right. Back in the day, it was not very luxurious compared to our flying that we have today.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, you fly a box back then. Now, do all the airplanes have capacity for getting a visitor to go through them, or just some do, some don't?
Generally not. Most of them are single-seat airplanes, and then we've got some that had multi-crew, but they're just kind of too difficult to access. They sit so high up above the ground. Everybody was nimble back in World War II.
But you can still sit in the helicopter.
Oh yeah, we've got
you got a helicopter out there.
Yeah, we do. We've got an OH-58 helicopter that we've got set up for the kids actually, with some sound effects and so forth, and family shots and everything. We've got a Huey, UH-1 Huey from Vietnam era.
Oh,
All right, I want to know
Huey.
if you got a chance, would you put a B-52 in your collection?
In a second.
In a second. Okay.
I don't know where you'd put it.
That's our new director speaking there. That's exciting, folks.
I want you guys to get a B-52 out there. Anyway, we got to take a break or come back and do some more of this. We got the crowd in here from War Eagles Air Museum. Let me see if I can find my list of who these people are. The new executive director, Mike Epp, EPP.
Yes, sir.
And that's how we know you. Dan Taylor, Cliff Bossy. These guys know airplanes and stuff. We got 2 hours with them. We're going to make it happen here. You got people looking at us on Facebook yet?
Yes, I did, but my Facebook page changed, and I can't understand what's up with it.
Angie's there from
Angie
Colorado. You got a list?
I can't get my face. It's the Facebook page changed. I have no idea.
The boys are looking nice from Ismael Romero. There's somebody. They're watching you people. Yeah. Okay.
He smells one of our weekend crew.
Hi, they should be working instead of watching Facebook. Yeah.
Dan Lehman.
They could be listening.
They're taking a break, Dan Lehman from Tucson. We got a crowd in there. Taking a break. Or call us if you need to. What's that phone number?
915-544-5876 or 915-544-KTSM.
Many retired.
Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-8888 1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso.
Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. I am looking at the email, ephistory690, gmail.com. Talk to us there if you wish to do so. And also, we have a Facebook page as well, as you know. It's El Paso History Radio Show streaming live today with the program, and a YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, El Paso History TV. We got our El Paso Gold DVD series up there for free. Take a look. 20 years worth of producing television, and we dump it on the internet for the COVID thing. And, well, we've got several thousand views of that stuff. And we got, I think, 1,500 permanent viewers on that, but anybody can drop into that. Also, 20 segments of our ABC 7 series we did called El Paso History TV, oddly enough. And they're now online. We did that on ABC 7. Mr. Bernie Sargent was the on-camera dude. Andrew and I shot that and produced those and put those out there. And they're archived there on that channel. And if you want to go see that, it's an interesting way to understand El Paso history. And if you went to public school here, as I say every week, you didn't get taught your history. So go look at some of that stuff. Also, we get comments on there. We put those on the air here. Comment about one of the El Paso History TV videos. It was actually one of the very first ones that we posted years ago. I think it was 2013, I think. And it was the last tour of El Paso City Hall. Guess who that was? And we did it both in Spanish and English. Andrew did the English version. And it was called the El Paso History Journal back then. And Asturias Celtic, that's the name they put on down, said, it was a beautiful building. My dad worked on the fourth floor since its opening and been with the city since 1969. So everybody gets their own memory out of this history. You want to go look. There's over 120 videos there. Take a look at some of that stuff, El Paso History TV on YouTube. What do you got?
Well, I'm going to travel the world of architecture with a free guided tour this Wednesday, June 16th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Tom Lee Institute founder, Adair Margot, and Situ Architecture Principal Edgar Lopez are leading this guided tour of El Paso, some of El Paso's most beautiful and unique architecture by architects Henry Trost and Mabel Welch. Space is limited and you must RSVP to tomlee.com/events or call them at 915-533-0048. Again, that's this Wednesday from 10 a.m., June 16th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
You got the guys from In Situ helping on the tour. They know the architecture down there.
Really
They live in it. They love it. And Adair, of course,
That's
knows
the
all.
business.
Well, she knows all kinds of stuff about downtown architecture. Talking about the War Eagles Air Museum, we need a 2-minute story before we go to the next break. Who's got a 2-minute story over here? Bossy, come on, Cliff. You looking like you got some kind of story. What?
How about where the collections came from with the automobiles? Was that also McGuire's, or was this someone else's?
It's. I think John collected automobiles as well. I don't know the story as well as Dan does. We have collected cars over the history of the museum. The majority of them are donated. Some are loaned for display. We actually, at this point, we have more automobiles than we do airplanes.
What kind of cars?
Everything from a reproduction of a 1903 Oldsmobile, which actually is a replica with a Cushman engine, up to probably my favorite, the 1935 Auburn.
That's beautiful,
one of a kind.
isn't it?
It is beautiful. A Rolls Royce. Everybody should own a Rolls Royce.
Oh yeah.
The Rolls Royce was actually donated by Dick and Susie Azar.
Oh, neat. And they just park it next door and come over and pick it up.
Well, I don't think that was the way it worked. They said, "Here it is," and that was nice
because they had their place out there. They had their own hangar and everything.
Right, a Blue Feather for many years. Right.
Oh yeah, and so the thing is, do the cars all run when they need to? Well, same with the airplanes.
We have them in different stages of operation. Mike is starting to operate some of the cars more recently, so we're getting them where they have fuel when they can run. So
you may have to back them up a little bit when we get that B-52. It's going to take up some space.
Have you ever stood by a B-52?
I've been in one. Oh man,
oh, you've been
nuts.
in one? Yeah, it's
my
amazing.
God, it's like
huge.
I'm where the bomb was.
I was at the crash site of one, and all that's left was the tail, and just the tail was impressive.
No, go to the airport.
Oh no, but I meant to see.
If you have a choice,
experience, yeah,
go the other.
That was
the
in
other
California.
tour. Anyway, I know I'm messing with you, but the thing about the War Eagles Air Museum, you will take donations if you can fit them in, right? Yeah, I mean you.
Yes, we do.
Oh, thank you. We need a drum. We used to have another microphone in here, and we didn't have to go through this, but they stole it from me.
A few of our airplanes were donations. Most of the cars have been donations. Most of our displays came from people's donations. We've got some really incredible history from World War I on up on display. Different uniforms, artifacts, helmets, documents. One of the programs that we're also working on right now is we're starting an archive system, and actually Cliff has spearheaded that. We've got tens of thousands of photographs and way more documents, and we're trying to digitize all the stuff that we can and make that available, in the future on our website. It's not available right now.
Way cool.
You also have a display, I believe, or as a memorial to the female pilots. I want to say 99ers, but.
Yeah, well, they were the 99ers. It was 99ers, the Powder Puff Derby in 1954. It was Ruth Dearman and
Lois Haley.
Yes.
And we also have a section dedicated for the women in aviation called the WASPs, who did the aviation flying stateside, while the men went over and flew the
And in fact,
combat.
it wasn't until in the 70s when they finally recognized what the women had done that an El Paso was one of the first, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but was one of the first ladies buried in Arlington in recognition to being one of the pioneers.
Sweetwater is the home of the WASP Museum that they have. And so in case anybody ever wants to go to the WASP Museum, they go over to Sweetwater, Texas.
We're almost going to take a break. Cliff has a thought.
One of the things that Mike and I have discussed is taking a lot of the displays we have and giving them a digital online presence.
Yeah.
One of the first ones would be Women in Aviation because it deserves a larger presence than it has in the museum. By going digital, we have some ideas for displays that I believe most people would find interesting. Our issue right now is coming up with a 21st century website.
Right, you still have the dashes in your website, don't you?
In the domain name, right?
Yes.
War Eagles.
War-Eagles-Museum.com.
Whatever.
Right.
Well, I posted a link from our Facebook page already, so
thank you.
Everybody can go over there. It's a great website.
They will find.
And we have a Facebook page for the museum also.
You don't put dashes in there.
I don't know.
No, don't do it.
What is it? War Eagles Museum?
War Eagles Air Museum, right. Okay. You had to search that.
Taking a break here, folks. We got to do that. 544
5876 or 544 KTSM.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, And live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
We got the War Eagles going today. We're talking about a lot of stuff. Some announcements we got for you. Celebration of our mountains on June 19th. They're going to Gary Springs in the Pine Tree Trail. On June 26th, BLM's Hummingbird Photography Workshop is happening, and one more, the details to be following, but you can get all the details you want by going to Jim Talbert. He's the man that runs this thing. Celebration of Our Mountains. You can just Google that and or go to Diego Talbert, gmail.com. Call him up, freak him out. Say, hey, let's ring his pocket. Shall we do that? Okay, 525-7364, 525-7364, and say, I am in Jim's pocket. Your turn.
That's the
Good.
private thing.
Good luck with that.
Pepe's Restaurant in Canyon 2 is home to the one and only margarita, and it's open for in-house dining, to-go orders, and catering. They're located at 6761 Donovan Drive, or call Pepe's at 877-2152, and we'll be there today.
We're all going. Are you guys going?
You betcha. We'll
All
be
right.
there.
Dan Taylor's going.
Everybody got to come. You're
That's
interested in
right.
planes? Come
Boss
on
is
over.
going. No, maybe not. You don't know. Mike's going to go get hot dogs. We don't know what he's going to do, but some of us will be there, especially this guy.
It will be a great time there. Great food,
Show
great
up.
company, and we pick up a little bit about the Camino Real while we're there.
There you
And you buy your own dadgum lunch. I just
It's
want
a
you to know
great
that.
lunch.
Okay,
go.
yeah.
Buy your own, anything you want. In the market to buy or sell your home, then contact Legacy Real Estate Services, Patrick Tuttle, who has a great inventory of homes for sale and for rent. So call Patrick Tuttle today at 588-1850, and please welcome our newest sponsor, State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson. He's like a good neighbor, but with a better phone number. Call Ralph today at 915.
Do you like that? He likes that. He likes that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you done now?
No, go ahead.
915-581-0000. You don't want to miss those zeros.
See, that's a better phone
And
number.
he's got all your insurance needs covered.
Hey, he's cool.
And then we also want to talk. This is our sponsored moment. Looking for a full service company to manage your rental properties? Then you need to talk to our friends at Monterey Asset Management or visit their website, which is m1ep.com, and you can call them at 915-592-4549. And the last one here is, of course, our favorite is Mission Del Rey, where they have great gifts for Father's Day coming up. And you can go to their spring walks. They've got a full line spring walk-in sale going on right now, and everything's 20% off. Just when you mention this ad on the El Paso History Radio Show, and you'll receive your discount at checkout. And kids, don't miss Mission Del Rey's new Old West Town attraction, a perfect place to have fun with your dad. Mission Del Rey is located at 1421 North Lee Trevino Drive, Suite A, or call them at 915-440-2140.
They've got gifts for Dad. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Father's Day coming
Well,
up.
gift for dad, but they got a sale, so if you're like me.
Well, and also, you still in the springtime, even though it's going to be 108 today. I don't think that's a lot of springtime, but on the calendar it says it's springtime, and whatever the case may be. And when it gets to be noon, Dan Taylor goes to eat at Pepe's.
All the time.
Yeah,
I see you there all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm out there a lot. What?
I have an interesting call. One of a friend of ours is Sean P. Goggin. He listens to the show, and he's a good friend of ours. He has his mother's flight jacket from when she used to fly the PBYs in World War II, taking meteorological readings for Navy ships.
Great. Do they have any pictures of her wearing the jacket?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does. He might be at lunch today, but I'll definitely check with him.
If he were to give it up, or anybody who had one like that, would you want them to donate it to the museum? And do you want that kind of stuff? You do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're trying to increase our archives as much as we can.
What was it that Elliot Shapley put in there? There's an exhibit with him.
Yeah, his father was a P-51 pilot who crashed in France and actually joined the French underground and did some serious damage against the Nazis.
Yeah, there's a
during
whole
the war.
story that guy did.
It is, yeah.
And so you've got it up on the wall out there.
Well, we have a display with a film. Actually, we've got a film that accompanies all the medals that he was awarded and some maps and charts and so
That's
forth.
way cool.
Oh, it's a great story.
But so if anybody has anything that's portable, like a B-52, but well, maybe they don't have one of those laying around. But if you got something interesting that would be a museum quality thing, I gave you some museum parts that I found up on Franklin Mountain.
Wow.
I did.
Well, we've got some stuff from the B-36 crash site there. Is that what you're talking about?
24. I gave you B-24 engine mount.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, sure. Yeah, it's right next to the
I mean, I didn't really want that, but I didn't want it left up on the mountain.
right.
It happened after the 06 flood in August. I decided to go up on the mountain to see if anything neat had popped out with a flood. And sure enough, there was about a 4-foot wide and 3-foot deep channel, brand new down the canyon. And at the bottom of it was this metal thing. And the B-24 crash went right over Memphis Street, Nashville Street, up into the mountain. And I think it lost an engine on its way to crash. And the engine mount was down the canyon by about 300 yards. But it had been, they bulldozed the road that night. And so they covered it up. I'm convinced, because this was under tons of debris and rock. And they pushed a road up there that night. And well, enough of that. Okay, back to War Eagles Air Museum. The thing about what you do have, you'd have some of these kind of parts. Cliff, what interests you the most? I mean, you're the guy that goes, as a volunteer, you get to go out there and you don't have to.
No,
These guys kind of, they're obligated. But you don't have to go there. So why do you go? What's the best plane you like?
I actually have so much that interests me there. Lately, trying to piece together histories of our airplanes, putting hands on airplanes, going through the archives and looking at photographs that I had never seen before or never appreciated before.
Where are you getting all these archives?
I'm sorry, what?
Where are you getting the archives?
Where are we
What's
getting?
the source of them?
Wherever we can get them.
People
Internet,
donate
Usually
everywhere.
in boxes that have been put aside. And so they're being it's a very time-consuming job for somebody to do what Cliff is doing.
But somebody donates them is my question. Yeah, really.
Well, they were acquired somehow, right?
Yeah, and it's just you're organizing them now, I guess, is basically.
But let me give Cliff a quick kudo here. He painted the Tu-2, he painted the A7, he's painted the F-84. These are outside aircraft on display, and there's a lot that Cliff has been doing. As Bob Dockendorf said, his fingerprints are all over the museum. So anyway,
well, you're not talking about portraits on the wall in a frame. You're talking about with
actual
paint
airplane
and a brush.
Yeah, we're talking about the entire airplane, right?
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Cliff does a great job. He does historical reproductions of for the different airplanes, different units, and so forth. He did a great job. But you were talking about the donations, and one day we went to work, and there was a photo album just leaned up against the front door.
Oh,
we have no idea where it came from, but it was a Sailor's Westpac tour cruise in the '70s. And some great photos from that era. It's just a great little collection. We have no idea where it came from.
simple acquisition. Pick it up.
Sure.
There you go. Fine.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
absolutely.
sure they purchased over the years looking for stuff to, I'm sure a lot of donations, but I know they also purchased a lot to try to fill in those gaps.
What's your phone number out there? What we're thinking about? And it's a New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico 575-589-2000.
589. That's almost as good as Ralph Dickerson.
Almost. But if people do have donations, give me a call. My name's Mike. Give me a call at 575-589-2000, War Eagles Air Museum, and talk before you just show up with a bunch of stuff because, there's just a lot of stuff out there. Some stuff would be great. A lot of stuff is really cool. I would like to tell people because I've had visitors come back years later and say, hey, we gave you my grandfather's medals and we'd sure like them back. And it's like, boy, I'm not sure where those are at exactly.
Don't work that way. Don't work that way.
Yeah, but a person should take care of their own immediate family history first.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, give me a call before you bring stuff down and we can talk about it.
And that B-52, you're still looking for one.
If anybody's got a B-52 out there that they don't have, that they want to
wow.
park out at the museum, we can make arrangements.
Man, I'm going to go see one of those again. Okay, so let's take a look at one of the pictures here. Andrew, I got behind here on number 3. How do you say that word? Feisler?
Fiesler.
Fiesler Storch. I did enough accent there for you? What is that thing?
It is a German observation liaison airplane. It was designed by the company Feisler. There's discussion even among Germans, which is correct. Ours is actually one of about 780 that was produced by, excuse my French, but Marine Saulnier.
Excuse your French. Exactly. Well,
we just refer to it as an MS-502. It is restored to the appearance of an FI-156 Storch. Its most famous claim to fame, not our airplane, but the type, was the rescuing of Mussolini after he had been deposed the first time.
Okay, this particular picture here shows dark spots that you haven't painted yet. Or is that some sort of camouflage thing?
It's actually painted in a North African camouflage scheme.
Okay, I didn't think you missed a part. Because otherwise you missed a lot of spots on that airplane trying to paint that thing.
Well, it's spotty.
It is. But, okay, so move to the next one there, Andrew. We got number 4, Grumman TBM Avenger. And you should realize that this is about a minute behind reality. Just so you know, this particular computer, but it's already up now. But you won't see it for about a minute just because of the delay of Facebook. We will be getting a monitor here at some point so we can. Well, look, we're making this stuff up as we go. This live on Facebook stuff. We didn't have a plan. There was no predecessor. So
one of the things about the TBM is it was a naval boat. It was a torpedo bomber. It was also the same plane that George Bush Sr. flew, and as you can see, the wings retract so that it fits on the aircraft carrier to make room. We've got a lot of the aircraft in the museum that the wings can be retracted on, and some of them that are parked outside the A7 has one wing retracted. And so that one is also our former chief pilot, Jack Bell. He flew the TBF, which was built by General Motors, and he was the last pilot to actually fly that airplane whenever it came into the museum. So
I think he was in here a couple of times.
Yes, Jack was. Yeah, Marion Bell. He used to be the CEO of Phelps Dodge.
And I can say that now. 20 years ago, they were here. I mean, we were on here back then. But no, and you said you wanted to see if anybody had some stories about him or something. If they want to call in.
Well, that would be if anybody remembers Jack, I'd like to call and ask questions about him a little bit. I'd like to keep his memory alive. I really respect him. When he was our chief pilot, he taught me a lot of things, and so I just like to toss that name out there in case somebody would like to give a call and maybe a short story about aviation, maybe.
We're about to give out that phone number because we got to take a break. Melissa, what's that phone number?
For
the break.
Okay. You have phone numbers going back and forth. So 915-544-5876 or 915-544-KTSM.
If you are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started.
Let you know about the McGoffin home. They're normally open, but Melissa will give some details on that. They are open by appointment for sure, and they are posting their programming on Facebook page. You can do yoga classes, you can do sci-fi books, you can do all kinds of stuff. But if you have any questions, call up Gloria Garza. She's the Visitor Relations Representative. 533-5147. And they have an announcement.
Yeah, due to today's extreme heat, the McGoffin home will be closed today and will reopen tomorrow, Sunday at 9 a.m. And again, you can call them at 533-5147 for details. But Keystone Heritage Park stayed open today for the heat.
And your air conditioning is on full.
It's on full. That's right. It's outdoors.
That's a good way to do it here. You had an item come in on Facebook, a question, specific thing?
It was from, what's his name? Ruben C. Reyes. He was asking about what's the history of the H-34 and where y'all are on that project.
Y'all.
Well, he said y'all. I'm going to take his word.
That one is kind of it's in a flux right now. It is a volunteer project, which one of the other groups on the airport is working on, and in a minute Mike will fill more in on that. That airplane was built as an HSS, which was the Navy designation for that type, also the Marine designation.
What type of plane was it? I mean, I guess
It's a helicopter.
Okay.
It is one that you will see in a lot of footage of the Vietnam War, particularly the Marine Corps delivering troops into the combat areas. The plan for that airplane is for it to be restored in Marine Corps markings, and it will be placed in a veteran park that the county is building at the airport. I don't think there's a time frame for it to be finished at the moment. I know Mike actually wants to talk to me about it after this program. Something came up yesterday that we might be making a little progress on it. I'm going to let Mike fill you in on the Veterans Park.
That guy talking was Cliff Bossy, a volunteer. Here comes the executive director, Mike Epp. I'm just doing the lower third titles for these people.
Sure. The Veterans Park is the Doña Ana County's latest park acquisition. It's been in the planning for quite a while. They've actually broken ground as far as scraping it smooth and putting in drainage and so forth. But there is a Veterans Park that's planned. They're going to have the American flag and the New Mexico state flag, and they're going to have the MIPOW flag. They're going to have the H-34 out there. It's going to be lit. They're going to build a real nice wall around it and so forth. There's a couple of people that are really behind it. Mike McNamee is a local pecan farmer and aviation enthusiast. He's pushing it through. The VFW post in Anthony, New Mexico has taken a driver's seat in that. The concrete is being donated by Job Concrete.
Oh, wow.
It's going. It's going to happen hopefully within this next year.
Great.
It was supposed to have been done already, but again, last year was just a 0 year. We'll just erase that.
There wasn't a 2020.
But it's going to come on. It's going to be a beautiful park. I've seen the artist renditions of it, and it's going to be right across the street from our museum. It's at the entrance to the Santa Teresa Jetport.
Oh, perfect.
It's going to be really nice.
That-
There's no doubt about it.
That Jetport is something else, too, if people
Yeah.
haven't been out there lately.
You got to hear what Ismail wants to do. Ismail Romero. Did you see what he wants? He's waiting for an SR-71. And you guys would like to see one of those out there, wouldn't you?
It's going to be waiting a while.
That's that big spy plane that went too fast you can't see it, right? One of those things?
Sure. Ismail's working behind the counter today at the museum.
Well, if he wins the lottery, he could, buy one and bring it in. How's
Sure,
that?
yeah, that'd be great.
Buy that ticket.
Well, we how much time left, Andrew? We have a break coming up here, but I was just curious about that SR-71
sure.
thing.
Yeah. It'd be great to have one. We'd love to have one.
Would you have room for that kind of stuff?
We've got a lot of space.
Okay.
We have a big parking lot.
Well,
Lots of room to put airplanes.
How many acres do you have out there?
Oh, gosh. What do you think, Dan? Maybe 5 acres?
Yeah,
6
about
acres?
5 acres.
So you have room for
that's
those
a good
big
lot of
airplanes
land.
if we can talk somebody out of one.
Just not inside, yeah. Between the 39 airplanes and
Oh.
the 55 cars we've got right now.
Isn't there a
it's
layer
full.
up near the ceiling where you could stick one of those things?
Well, we've got a couple airplanes that are hanging from the ceiling, and we'd love to do that. It's going to take some engineering. It's going to take that magic piece of paper from an engineering firm to
Yeah.
tell us.
Oh, God.
Said it won't fall on someone.
And the way the building was built, you can hang stuff from the ceiling.
Oh, absolutely. It's structural.
Remind me in
It's
the
very
next
strong.
hour to talk about how that building was built, because I remember hearing the details. That thing is not going to go anywhere unless you want it to. I mean, voluntarily with the weather, it's never going to move, I don't think, will it?
Well, Mr. McGuire was an engineer, and so when they came up with the plans, he says, we're going to do this and do that, and the engineer said, why? And he says, well, because we're going to make it better. And so whenever he had the basic design, the building was supposed to stand 110 miles an hour, and when they finished it, it was 130. So it's a freestanding building. The structure underneath is post-tension cables. The footings go down 15 feet.
Jeez.
It's a massive concrete structure under the ground. They dug all the dirt out underneath the building. All the way down where a bulldozer and road grader were below the surface of the ground, and then they hauled in all new good dirt to compact. And so the main building itself is going to be there for a long, long
Yeah.
time.
He was some engineer, I'll tell you, if he's doing that. Yeah.
And that was so the planes wouldn't go through the floor.
Well, actually, he built the entire hangar, and then he put dirt down, and then he poured the 50-foot squares of cement on top of that because he hates cracks in the cement. So
Don't go there.
No, that's right.
He's an engineer. Talking about War Eagles Air Museum. Going to do some more after the news. We got a lot of airplanes to show you and a bunch of cars.
That's right.
So we'll see you after the news. Thanks a lot.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page, Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
Are we back here yet? Are we talking on the radio again? Should we talk some more
there
about
we are. We
reality?
Just came back on air.
Oh, hey, look, we're starting the second hour of the history show.
Say hello, everyone.
Hello there, and you're being English.
Yes. I am,
lovely.
yes.
Stop it. Anyway, we're going to have a history moment. You want to have a history moment in English?
Yes,
Let's
we
do that.
We have one in English, yes. Yes.
Stop it.
Queen's English.
I see you've been watching too much news about the Queen
No,
wandering
I
over.
just a minute.
What's in that little purse anyway? I have no idea. She's probably got 38 in there loaded. Look out. Anyway, so the history moment is produced by Melissa Sargent for the El Paso History Alliance page. Her topic today is about how they first flew U.S. airmail planes at night.
Lighting the way for airmail to El Paso. In the late 1920s, the U.S. government wanted to improve airmail service by getting the mail from coast to coast faster than before, which now meant airmail pilots would have to fly at night. But navigation for the early aviator was antiquated and difficult. Pilots would usually follow the railroad tracks along with a map as their main source of navigation. This form of navigation was impossible and deadly when flying at night. Nearly 1 in 10 early airmail pilots died during the early days of the Postal Service's new airmail initiative, and emergency landings were common. There just had to be a safer way. So the U.S. Department of Commerce designed a new system of lighted towers, inland lighthouses, you might say, with gigantic concrete arrows at their bases pointing the way, which allowed air pilots to navigate without depending solely on railroad tracks and landmarks to find their way. By 1930, L.C. Elliott, Airways Extension Supervisor for the Department of Commerce, proposed a plan to complete the southwestern section from Dallas to El Paso and on to San Diego. While in El Paso meeting with city leaders and reporters, Elliott and his pilot C.I. Burnett said the plan was to complete the link to El Paso in about 2 months, with lighthouses every 10 miles at a cost of $400 a mile. Soon, airmail and commercial flights were going to be able to travel into the evening hours along the Great Highway of Light. More history next week on El Paso History Moments. I'm Melissa Sargent for the El Paso History Alliance.
I can hear Bernie playing the cymbals in there.
Yeah, he's flying the plane.
He's doing good stuff there. All right, you got that history moment going there for the History Alliance.
That's right. If you're looking for more El Paso area history, and then you need to visit our top partners in history on Facebook, and that's the El Paso History Alliance Facebook page that is full of historic pictures, historical information, and history preservation updates. And it's managed by Max Grossman and Mark Stone. And one of the oldest Facebook pages is Remember in El Paso When. It's home to an amazing number of historic pictures, stories, and so much more. And that page is managed by Barbara Given-Baney and her team.
And she's known as BGB.
BGB.
Also, she could use some help over there. I think they're looking for some people, dedicated people who want to chain themselves to the computer for a couple hours. Well, you got to focus.
That's true, yeah.
Because if you're going to do it right like she does, you got to actually sit there and talk to your computer and approve people coming on or off or posts or whatever. And they do that because they are a group, and as a group they manage who comes on and not. She could use some help on that. She got some good people now, though. Margaret Smith, Rick Duncan, Paul Louie, and Ken Weiss and Craig Hayes. But if you got something that you want to, you got some time to volunteer and do something good for the history world, talk to her, message her on Facebook. Because that's where you'll be.
That's for sure.
Should we move on now?
Yes, we shall.
It's History of Aviation today, and we're doing what we can. With the War Eagles Air Museum, we got the crowd in here and knows what's going on out there. If not, they're fooling a lot of people, but they're in charge, so we hope they're doing this right. And so we got Cliff Bossy sitting here in the middle of all these people, and then we've got Dan Taylor on one side and Mike Epp on the other side, and these guys are doing their thing. Oh, that's right. You can wave to the camera now.
Yes, you're on there. There you
how
are.
about that? And we have stirred up people on the phone. They did remember the phone number, and the guy's name is Alan. Alan, we got you on the radio. What's up?
Not much, sir. I just wanted to make a comment and give a little information and ask one question. The comment was one of the comments I want to make was he talked about the CH-34 Choctaw. Well, that was the Army version. I forget what the Marine Corps version is. And I was in a General Support Aviation Repair Company, well, they were transportation companies in Germany, and we had CH-34s. And I wasn't a crew chief or anything, so I flew on them a few times, but that's about it. Just thought it'd be information you'd like to have.
Do you ever get out to the museum, Alan?
Yeah, I've been out there twice. And what I wanted to comment on, the thing I liked about the museum was they had a P-51. They had the ammo trays and all that open so you can see how the guns were mounted and how the ammo went in. I thought that was a pretty good exhibit. And the other thing I liked was the German liaison aircraft, the Chrysler Stork they had there. I don't know if they still have it, but I thought they're pretty rare, so...
You got that?
That was pretty neat.
You still there?
And
it's still there. We talked about it.
The question I wanted to ask was, what model Huey do they have? Because I flew on Hueys in Vietnam. I was a door gunner and armament guy on Hueys in Vietnam.
Actually, that particular Huey is a Victor model, which I had never heard of. I was in the Army and was around H model Hueys when I was in the Army.
Well, when I first went, they still some of in Germany they still flying some A models, but they had A's, B's, C's, which were mostly used as gunships. They had the D's, which were pretty weak. They had the same engine that B's and C's had. That was an L11. Then they had the L13 on the H. Then they came out with a Mike model, which was like a C and B, but it had a rotor system the Cobra had, and it had a L13 on it also. Then they had another model came. and then they had an N model, the Navy and the Air Force flew.
Yeah, I got lost in the
newer ones
alphabet
since
there.
Yeah, this was a Victor model, and it was called a Victor straight from the factory just because it was built with a hoist. It was a sling. It was used for medevac.
Yeah. I seen those advertised, but I never seen one in. They were thinking about getting them for like pararescue and stuff.
Well, they got all kinds of stuff out there. You can stop out there and talk to them.
Yeah, sure. We've got a display, a medevac, a dust-off display that Victor is that Victor model is the center of.
Oh, okay.
Right next to an OH-6 as well, and we've got the Duck Commando, the V100 Duck Commando armored vehicle that's out there as well. But
yeah, you talked about your A7. You said is that a Navy model?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the Navy A7. That's
so
correct.
It's set up for 4 guns, and because the Air Force one carries a Vulcan M61. And I think the Navy ones, the guns on them, it's Mark 11s.
Well,
I was an
one
EOD guy also. We had to do all the ejection seats and bomb racks and all that type of stuff. Like you talk about a B-52, they had a bomb trainer on it where they had the internal racks, which were all mechanical, and we had to work on how to release bombs and load bombs and all that type of stuff on it. We had one at Naval Ordnance Station at Stumpneck at India Head Naval Ordnance Station when I was an EOD instructor there. So,
did we get to your whole agenda, Alan? You had all kinds of things you wanted to do. Is that it?
No, that's enough.
Okay. Okay, good.
I tied up enough, and I want to thank you for your time.
Indeed. Stop out there and talk to these guys. They'll take all day with you. We only got a few minutes, so we're going to let you go. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. A lot of people out there listening that are very knowledgeable and stuff. What do you got?
We're getting a question. It's from Michael. No, it's a little bit not so much about planes, but Michael Perez was asking, can organizations hold special events at the museum, or are you having any special events coming up this year?
Oh, I've been to some out there. You got some. You push the planes back a little bit.
Yeah.
Scrape some space available on the floor,
Been there for a
and bring in
couple.
a caterer, right?
It's cool too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
got,
great.
We've got space for lease for. Go ahead. We've got space for.
They're watching you. What are you doing?
For retirement parties, we've had fundraisers out there. But in the summertime on the weekends, we try to have we work with car shows. I think, as a matter of fact, I think the Corvette Club is coming out tomorrow morning between 10 and 12, and it's always fun to have car show people come out. The Mustang Club has been out there. We have just different things that are involved with the normal open hours of the museum when different clubs get together. Veterans groups will show up. The motorcycle veterans guys will come out quite often. And then, but we do have banquet facilities. We'll move some airplanes out of the way and set up some tables and chairs, get caterers.
Ooh, wedding.
For wedding receptions, memorial services, retirement parties, Christmas parties, all that. And if this is the Mike Perez, I think it is. Hi, Mike. Glad to hear from you.
A shill.
Why not? All right, let's get into some of the pictures that we have here. I think we're ready for that. Andrew, how are we at now? You did the Lockheed P-38. How about the MiG-15 midget? You got the P-38 up? Okay, talk about that one. It's about to hit the fan over here.
P-38 was an interceptor designed just prior to World War II. Twin engine, high altitude. It had some issues in the European theater of operations, but it had a superb record in the Pacific theater of operations. Pilots loved it for having both long range and the reliability of 2 engines. And it is the type of airplane that was used to shoot down the Japanese Admiral Yamamoto, which was a long-range mission set up to intercept a particular airplane at a particular time, 1,000 miles away from the base.
And they got him. Hey, don't mess with those people.
That was a big bust. Yeah.
So you got all kinds of airplanes out there. Did this one actually fly in that kind of world? This isn't that plane, is it?
No, ours was probably stateside as a trainer. It later became a racing airplane, which Dan would know more about the racing history of that airplane.
Right. It was up at Reno, the Reno Air Races. It had a little accident. Mr. McGuire purchased it, and so we've got it on display now. There was a version of the P-38 that was all black. It was called the Night Lightning, and ours sort of resembles that, but it's not exactly the true example of it. But at least it's a close resemblance to it. The people decided that they want to race it by reducing the weight. They took some of the components off. They did some alterations and modifications, but Unfortunately, the design was not the what was needed to go against the single-engine high-performance airplanes, but it came down one year, I think it was at 88 to the Amigo Air Show, and then took it out to the McGuire's Ranch, and then we brought it back out to the museum where it sits.
Wow.
So when are you going to do another air show? Anybody? It's not up to you guys, but I mean, would that be crazy to do? Who has to decide to do that?
I don't know. I think DOD was always the big driving force behind the Amigo Air Show,
Yeah.
and it was hosted there at Biggs Army Airfield. And boy, that was a great air show. I sure
Yeah.
enjoyed them.
One of the
I
best,
went a bunch
yeah.
of times.
Yeah, but
And they had one or so out at your location for whatever reason.
yeah, they did, and I wasn't in town for that one, but I've heard it was a great air show, and I've heard it logistically wasn't a very great air show.
Yeah, I had trouble.
Well, there's only a 2-lane highway at the time, and how you're going to ship tens of thousands of people back and forth in a timely fashion, I don't know. But I'm not being critical. I wasn't even there. But
No,
it
tell
just
them to come
seems
a week early.
Yeah, and camp out.
What's up?
So when are you going to put an airship out there? You always have, occasionally you'll have the airships that come across country and they spend the night over at Santa Teresa.
Well, we haven't had them spend the night. They're wonderful to watch. The Fuji guy, I see him come
Fuji
back
and
and
the
forth.
insurance company and some others.
Yeah, particularly in the winter when the weather's the most benign. When
Yeah.
they're going cross country, they all the 18-wheelers. You've ever noticed El Paso's so busy in the winter?
Yeah.
Because I-40 and
Everything's
all those
closed
other ones
off,
are
yeah.
closed up north, so they all come through here.
The
and the same with the blimps.
Yeah, the pass at El Paso is the lowest point of the Rocky Mountains. So anytime that they would have the airships come across, even the Hindenburg came. There's a photograph of the Hindenburg flying over the Franklins.
Yeah.
Seriously, really?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Where
I
it's,
gotta find that one.
and so they have a ground crew that comes and they'll set up a mast, and then the airship will come in and they'll spend the night there 1 or 2 days. I think maybe whenever they start having more public events at football stadiums or something like that,
you'll see 'em.
they'll
You'll see more of
start coming back across again.
Well, I just saw, speaking of airships, I just saw one in Europe that they've created. It's a huge luxury airship again. And I was like, it just blows me away. I think it would be cool to do because I almost had an opportunity to ride the Goodyear blimp years ago. And that is just
You're
fantastic.
But you're at the whim of the weather for sure.
Yeah, kind of, sort
Well,
of.
you have to
but
drive
they know
around.
they're-
Where's the
yeah.
good weather? Let's go there.
If you're going
Right?
east, I think it's a good airplane, a good ride. With the
Going
winds that we
west
have
and-
here, the prevailing winds
Oh.
are out of the west. So,
Jeez.
Yeah, but can you imagine one of those things in one of our dust storms? They don't want to be here then.
Oh no.
They don't
They're-
even want to be on the ground.
They'll fly a long way to get out of that.
Their ground speed is very, very slow, and so the vehicles tear down the tower, drive to the next town, and set up the tower, and then finally the airship shows up.
Also,
So-
they have a chase team.
Yeah, they have to.
A chase team for the
'Cause
towers and everything.
The hookups
Okay.
for those things aren't around
Oh
anymore.
no, I know. I didn't realize that. So
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
All right, we'll come back and do some more airplanes in a minute or two, and we will take a call because Alan had all kinds of interesting questions.
Yeah.
Throw that number out there. Why don't you?
915-544-5876 or 915-544-KTSM.
Pepe's New Mexican Restaurant. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Baney. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right... Getting back to War Eagles in a second here. We got to tell you who's coming in here next weekend, June 19th. Author Harry Heribert von Filich. I said that close. I don't know.
It's pretty
We'll
close.
ask him
Better
when he
than I
gets.
do.
He's actually going to come in here. He's from North Carolina. But he's on our program to connect spy stories from the Mexican Revolution. He found National Archive documents. He found them himself, showing the money trail from Germany to Pancho Villa. He found the documents and other Mexican revolutionary figures as well. Harry will be joined by the German military historian Florian Weidel. We'll ask him how to say his name. Together, they will flesh out how Germans got Pancho Villa to attack the U.S. in Columbus. Apparently, that was a German thing. New Mexico, it is New Mexico, of course, but it was causing they also infiltrated the punitive expedition. And their efforts ended up losing World War I for the Kaiser.
And it was Florian Waitel.
Waitel. That's what I said.
No, you said Vadel. I
said Waitel. You say tomato. Whatever. The dude, Florian's going to show up.
Can I get a divorce?
He'll be by phone, though. He'll be by phone. Don't worry about it. Well, you can divorce me every Saturday afternoon.
I know, I do.
And she'll back up next week.
We're not even married.
June 26th. What is happening in space history these days? This is going to be fun. Our guest is Chris Orwald, director of the New Mexico Museum of Space History. He talks about his museum and also about the recent worldwide space history of the last few years. Like, what are the billionaires doing? They're shooting themselves into space. We'll find out what that's about. You got some more to talk about?
Well, yeah, July 3rd, we have the El Paso Museum of History curator Erica Marin is the guest to describe the El Paso Museum of History and what is on display right now. July 10th, we have executive director Janae Field, and she will bring some of the board members from the Frontera Land Alliance to update us on the Kastner Range story and revisit that history. And then July 17th, we got the El Paso County Historical Commission is hosting a webinar to talk with with this topic being 24 Reasons Historic Preservation is Good for Your Community. Lessons learned across 10 citywide studies on the economic, social, and environmental impacts of historic preservation. And we'll hear all about that project.
That's just a short title of what they're going to do.
I know.
No big deal. All right, we
Be
got
a good show.
War Eagles Air Museum. Talk about the MiG. You got the MiG. You got a couple of MiG pictures here, but the one we're looking at first would be the 15, and then the next would be the 21. So, who wants to talk about the MiG 15 midget?
This MiG 15 midget. It's a two-seat version of the MiG 15 fighter, which was a surprise when we ran into it in the Korean War. Ours is actually a Polish-built LIM. All of our MiGs are, well, the 15s are all Polish-built. The two-seater Its unfortunate claim to fame is it's the airplane that Yuri Gagarin was killed in. If anybody knows who Yuri Gagarin was, he was the first man in space.
Yeah.
Very well-respected individual.
He was a test pilot, right?
He was initially a test pilot.
Yeah.
He was somebody that was incredibly likable, somebody that was incredibly respected, and was killed due to some vices that airplane has. It was a surprise when we first ran into it. However, when we acquired the first one that we could test, Chuck Yeager was one of the pilots among many that tested it and basically described it as a dog of an airplane. It has some nasty capabilities. If you get too high angle of attack, it'll blank out the tail. It tends to stall, go into an inverted spin, and that's what killed Yuri Gagarin.
Kind of like a Yugo of fighter planes.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
Well, you look at it. I mean, it looks very Russian especially the early days of that time.
So in the war theater, they did not know this plane was coming.
Oh, they had inklings. They did not know. They did not have enough details on it.
Spying has gotten a lot better now, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, but trying to spy on the Soviet Union was always an issue.
Yeah.
The airplane came about because the Labour government in England sold 50 Rolls-Royce Nain engines to the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union reverse engineered them, used them to power their fighter airplanes. We have both a Rolls-Royce Nain and what I refer to as a Nainsky on display, the Russian version.
See what happens when you get in trouble for greed. It happens a lot.
It does.
All right.
Rolls-Royce still builds motors for planes.
And the
don't
next
they?
airplane, the MiG-21. Go ahead and answer that if you want.
MiG-21 was an interceptor that was built by the Soviet Union. Was another nasty surprise to us at first in Vietnam till we learned how to fight against the airplane. Being a delta wing airplane in a fight, it is going to bleed energy very rapidly. So knowing that, going against it with something like an F-4 Phantom, you can best it once you know the airplane. Yeah. Ours came to us via the West German government. After the unification of Germany, they no longer had need for the former Soviet airplanes. And this one was provided by the commanding general of the German forces at Fort Bliss in the 80s.
Now, you just put up your hand and say, hey, generals, if you got an extra airplane, let me know. I mean, how does this work? Or do you have to say, hey, general, I've got $50,000. I want to buy that thing? How does that work?
I don't know how it works, but we got a T-37 from the Germans.
So you don't know how
and
the
we also have
works?
some air defense artillery equipment that's in front of the parking area that they donated to us whenever they pulled out of Fort Bliss.
So those are just total donations.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yes.
Have you had to buy an airplane? You must have.
Well, I don't know of the back behind scenes of what goes on in the museum. I'm as far as buying a foreign aircraft, I don't think the museum has.
So everything's donated. That's my question. Okay. No, that's cool.
Donated or traded. You know, sometimes we have more of one type of airplane, and we'll facilitate an aircraft trade.
I see.
Just to move stuff around, and we're always open to that with other museums.
We're talking about the War Eagles Air Museum. We've got all kinds of people in here. Cliff Bossy's sitting in the middle. Dan Taylor's on one end. Got Mike Epp on the other end. And we're going to keep talking, but we've got to take a break.
Okay.
So there. Shall we be back in a moment?
We shall be back.
Andrew, hit the button.
Monterey Asset. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given-Baney. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com. And you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso.
Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio. Are you ready? This
Are you
week
ready for
only
this?
in El Paso Inc.? No, you weren't ready.
I had it over here.
Oh, okay.
The community honors El Paso frontline healthcare workers. Photos and more from the award ceremony at Southwest University Park.
A drought continues to grip the American West. This year's irrigation season is bringing little water to the El Paso area farmers and water utilities.
The board of the city's largest school district looks radically different than it did before the pandemic, topping the list of its most pressing concerns, finding a new superintendent.
El Paso's Business Journal, El Paso Inc., is available for home or business delivery.
To receive the El Paso Inc., order it online at elpasoinc.com.
Sunday night at 10:35 p.m., Hosoul Signs talks about how drivers are hitting the road more now that the pandemic seems to be winding down. Gasoline prices are soaring with an average of $3 a gallon in the borderland, but that's not the only reason price hikes in El Pasoans are looking at the other water rates. Water rates are going up.
Oh, yeah. tell
Anything
me
liquid's
about
going to cost you more.
it. Yes.
Drink a beer.
Sunday on ABC 7 Extra, host Saul Saenz asked the president and CEO of El Paso Water if he believes water rates will continue to climb. Saul also asked spokesman for AAA if we can see gas prices coming down anytime soon. Their answers are Sunday night at ABC 7 Extra after ABC 7 at 10.
We got a roster of flyboys in here. Is that a compliment? I don't know. Dan Taylor's. You're the first guy on my left, so there you are.
Here I am.
Here you are. And then what do you do?
I do everything that they don't want to do. So I work on the airplanes. Sometimes I get to fly the airplanes and fix different things, but I'm not the man in charge.
Next guy's not in charge either. His name is Cliff Bossy. He's a volunteer. You're in charge of your own time.
In theory.
In theory. Okay. You got one more guy in the room. Mike Mike is the only guy who really has a legal voice here, right?
He's the jefe.
And the noise you hear is a microphone passing between these two guys, and it's just the way it is. But, Mike, you're executive director, and so far so good. About a year's worth, huh?
Yeah, that's correct. And I come from an aircraft maintenance background and a pilot background as well.
Okay. And Melissa had mentioned that there's a lot of displays that we really haven't talked about. You got airplanes hanging around, sitting around, flying around or not, but you got displays. What are those?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we got the 39 airplanes, the 57 cars, and we've got probably at least 30 displays around the museum. artifacts mostly, donations, almost all of them, different photographs, historical uniforms. We've got helmets. We've got, for example, a guy brought in a porcelain grenade from World War II.
Oh, my God.
Because at the end of the war, the Japanese were running out of steel, and they were preparing for the invasion of the homeland, which the atomic bomb actually preempted. But everybody knew that tension, it was going to happen. And so they made porcelain hand grenades.
Wow.
And when you think about glass like that, porcelain shattering, it'd be just as deadly as
I would think that'd be a
steel.
problem.
Yeah.
And plus carrying it, too, would be a problem, too.
Yeah. or trying to find the fragments on an X-ray or whatever. But, But I'd never even heard of that. But we've just got tons of stuff. And after, when I first moved here 24 years ago, the Air Museum was one of the first places I went, and I went continuously until I retired. I became a volunteer like Cliff, and then later was offered a job and stuff. But here I am 24 years later, and just last week I found a little display that I had not seen before in 20-something years. We have stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the museum. We've got odds and ends and unique things. And
you could spend an hour or two there at least.
Oh, at least.
Minimum,
I would think so. Go out there at 10 a.m. and book lunch at the La Posta at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
Yeah, sure.
And go up the
and run
river.
up Highway 28.
Yeah,
there
go up the river. Yeah.
Get some wine.
Or get Dan to drop you off. He'll just drop you off over there, Messia.
Jump.
But that whole the whole airport's just booming. You know, in 1989 when they built the museum was just about the only thing out there, along with a few private hangars. But now with the port of entry at Santa Teresa, and they just opened up the railroad port of entry at Santa Teresa.
And the weather guys have always been there, haven't they?
Yeah, the weather guys have been out there forever. And then they've got they moved the train yards from El Paso.
The intermodal system.
Over out there. So then you've got all the Maquila traffic coming north. You've got the
There's
airport.
some manufacturers over there too, yeah.
Oh, yeah, huge manufacturers. And then the Maquilas are on our side. You know, the Maquilas are just growing every day. There's more and more stuff out there. And there's more businesses going out there, aviation-related businesses. We've got Skydive El Paso is out there right next door to us. We also have the Red Arrow Flight Academy, which is out there. It's a top aircraft flight school.
Is that Deborah Rothschild?
No, that's Tomas Peralta.
Okay.
Tomas and his sister.
Because she used to fly helicopters out there. You have any helicopters out there?
We've got
service.
Well, we've got some public. We've got some private helicopters that are owned out there. Mike McNamee, the gentleman that we talked about before, he's got an OH-6 that he flies.
But no public service helicopters.
No, not per se. We now Fort Bliss, the Apaches and the Blackhawks come over and train almost every day at the airport because it's an 8,000-foot long runway and it's not as busy as El Paso International.
Oh, so be easier,
Then Custom CBP comes over with their helicopters and trains and stuff as well.
Well, let me ask you about this. You've got an airport there, but as I recall, there was no particular tower.
No, there still isn't.
How does that work? Yeah. Hey, everybody, here I come. Look out! I'm on runway 4.
It is. Yeah, it's a Unicom frequency.
Wait a minute. I'm on that runway, and then what do you do?
Well, everybody has to be polite and take turns.
I see.
But everybody has to broadcast out what their intentions are, and pilots are pretty good about it. You're trained from day one.
Well, you don't want to bump into each other. I mean,
well, you really don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah, that's usually a bad day.
Yeah,
when that happens. But and it's getting busy. I mean, I think that we have. Not we, but the airport has resurfaced their runway. They're planning another longer runway, a heavier runway that'll take up to 300,000-pound cargo aircraft. And when you see that happen, business is going to expand like crazy out there at that airport.
I would bet, yeah.
And our quiet little west side of El Paso is not going to be so quiet anymore.
No, it's getting noisier all the time
it
now
because
I sit in the backyard and the jets come over and
progress.
I don't mind them too much.
I like it.
The good thing about the new runway is they're actually going to aim it into the prevailing winds, so you don't have a crosswind every time you take off and land.
Wouldn't that have been something to take into account the first time? No.
No, they used the windrows from Deming, and they said, well, the wind in Deming must be just like it is here. Of course, there's a big mountain to the southwest, and so that blocks the wind, so it makes it prevailing from the west instead of the southwest.
So your pilots have had to take off with a crosswind.
It's a standard procedure,
and that's why it's a good place to learn how to fly.
If the winds are calm, we can't land because we're going all over the runway.
Yeah. What they call crab legging when you're coming in. That's scary.
Did we cover the exhibits that Melissa was referring to?
Yeah.
You had some specifics in mind, Melissa?
Well, I was also thinking about the gift shop. I bought gifts for people that I know were plane fanatics.
Yes,
gift shop.
And Father's Day is coming up.
Oh, good point.
And what what fathers don't like stuff about airplanes.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we do have we have a very nice gift shop. We've got everything from leather jackets to Hawaiian shirts, toys for the kids. We've got coffee mugs, keychains. We've got all that kind of stuff that's available. We have hundreds of items that are for sale in our gift
And the
shop.
kids can run around out there, too. It wears them out a little bit. I mean, you want to keep them off of things, but at the same time, it's a good place for kids to go and see and learn because they see things they've never seen before.
Well,
Andrew, picture number 9. Let's go there. We've got what is it? Tupolev? Tupolev?
yeah,
Tupelo?
the TU2. Yeah, it's
What is
Cliff. Well, here's Cliff to tell us about it.
Mr. Cliff.
Tupolev Tu-2. It was a Russian medium, best to say attack airplane because everything on the Eastern Front was low level. This airplane was kind of designed like a tank. It could carry a pretty good amount of bombs, had 20 or 30 millimeter cannons, I can't remember which, in the wings.
You got that up, Andrew? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how many were built. Not as many as I would have expected. I think it was around 3,000.
And the next one's a Corsair. Move on to that one, Andrew. What is that? Devout F4U.
That is the fighter plane the Navy flew in World War II that everybody is familiar with. It kind of supplanted and later replaced the F-6F Hellcat. If you look at the airplane, it's kind of a weird design, but everything on it has a purpose. Ours initially, the outer wing panels were fabric covered from the wing spar back, and sometime in the 50s, those were replaced with metal. A friend of ours who has since passed away, Frank Arafat, who was also a volunteer, spent 30 years rebuilding one, and he pointed out to me there are some anachronistic items like fabric covering, yet the fuselage was spot welded, which at 1939, 1940 was state of the art. It's an important airplane for us. It was an important airplane for the French. The French used it in Indochina in the 1950s, and it continued flying for the French Navy up until, I think, 1960, 1962.
And so what you've been doing, you've been researching the particular planes in the building and getting an archive of them going.
Correct.
Okay.
And the Corsair did see action, and it did have a bullet hole in it. So,
Oh.
Really?
yeah.
All right, let's move on to the cars. Number 11, Andrew, 1920. By the way, the secret man behind the curtain named Andrew.
Andrew Polk.
He's the guy Monday through Friday with Talk El Paso, Andrew J. Polk. That's
There
him.
we go.
Yay.
That's him. I'll bang on the table. But Andrew J. Polk is Talk El Paso Monday through Friday. If you haven't caught that act, that's an amazing free-for-all you do every day, Andrew, although the free-for-all Friday is when they open up the phones and anything happens. And so that's Monday through Friday here on KTSM, and that's at 4 to 5 p.m. All right, moving on to the 1929 Ford Model A Coupe. Who used to have that car? Anybody know where it came from?
Well, that was one of Mr. McGuire's purchases, and he had a bunch of really unique ones. I think that one he purchased in Martha and went through the process of fixing it up. Of course, you could spend a fortune on any vehicle to restore it, but it's a good restoration and a good example of what the model was all about.
And the next one is a 1931 Chrysler Model 8 Deluxe.
Oh, that's
A Deluxe.
That was one, I believe, that our former director Bob Dockendorf had his hand in as far as getting it to the museum. It was a business coupe, I believe, right?
Yeah,
and
that's right.
There's that era of cars where the aerodynamics and the smooth flowing lines really made it appealing, and it's a really good example of the evolution of cars as they've progressed through the time.
Is that a purple car?
Yes.
It is a purple car. I thought that was just me and the fluorescent lighting in that thing. That's pretty bizarre. And then the next one is
that was a Cord, wasn't it? Is the purple one a Cord or is it a
that one is a Chrysler Model 8
Chrysler?
Deluxe.
Oh, that's the oh, okay. 'cause
Yeah,
you had a
number
yellow
13.
one
The
too up there.
next picture
Okay.
is an Auburn 851, 1935. And if you're wondering what we're doing on the radio, talking about pictures, we're not that crazy. We do this on Facebook as well. Just so you know, we are streaming this live on Facebook. For those of you who think those radio people are talking pictures
On the El Paso
Am
History
I
Radio
missing-
Show Facebook page.
Am I missing something? Like
There's the Cord.
you do that and it comes out through the microphone.
That's the Cord.
No, it doesn't do that.
Auburn.
Oh, look at that.
That's the Auburn Boattail Speedster.
Love to drive one of those.
It has a plaque on it, And the plaque says on this specific date, the vehicle went its top speed over 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
And that thing is also, I know that the Cords and this one specifically, there was one more, that they were designed on aerodynamics in the sense of what the airplanes were coming out as.
Yes.
Because I remember there was one, used to even have a tail on the back of it that, remember for the movie Topper, you'll see that. It has a tail, like an airplane tail in the back.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this is the boat tail.
That one also has a turbocharged straight 8,
Wow.
disc brakes. It was a modern car.
Oh, yeah. What did it cost back then? Any idea?
More than I could afford.
Yeah.
They were very expensive.
All right, we're talking about War Eagles Air Museum, and they also have a bunch of cars out there. We're going to take a break and come back and talk about a few more cars. Other than that, Dan Taylor's going to go to lunch at Pepe's today.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be wonderful.
I may get the combo number 1.
That's even better.
Get it ready.
And is there,
Wherever you go, the combo number 1's always good.
well, you got to see what they got in this place. What's their combo number 1? And I think, Andrew, you going to go to lunch? Well, oh, boy, Andrew's going to get Mexican food today.
Oh,
and
yay.
Melissa, we know you're going.
Yeah, I'm going. Bernie's
Well,
there. Then we're running off to marry some people. So
Well, we live out there on Saturday, so that's where that is. All right.
I hope a bunch of the friends of the museum decide to come and join us today. You know,
hope so,
maybe
yeah.
maybe it's been a long time since you've been out to the museum and just come over to Pepe's. At least have a glass of tea with us if you don't want to have lunch.
it's a bucket list, and that's how I
talk-
list it, as being a bucket list museum for the area.
6761 Donovan Drive. What happens when you go there?
You get great food.
You're at Pepe's. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Taking a break, come back in a minute. Andrew, do the button thing.
Here's the deal.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com.
Visit Mission Del Rey Southwest for a huge selection of El Paso souvenirs and gifts. Mission Del Rey features El Paso saddle blanket products and thousands of Southwest, Western, Native American, and Mexico items for gifts and decor. Bring your friends and mention you heard us on the radio for a store-wide discount. Mission Del Rey Southwest, 1421 Lee Trevino. Enter on Pelicano. Go to missiondelrey.com or call 915-440-2140 for Mission Del Rey Southwest.
This radio show is now streaming on the Facebook page Remember in El Paso When, run by Barbara Given Bainey. We still archive the audio of these radio shows on ephistory.com, and you can go there online and find our radio shows for the last several years. Go to ephistory.com and access the El Paso History Radio Show archives for every Saturday radio show back to early 2016.
Many retired El Paso area homeowners don't know where to begin when it comes to downsizing and selling their home. Patrick Tuttle and his Legacy Home team follow a proven process to help retired homeowners sell faster and for more money. Call Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850 today and get your home sold faster and for more money. That's Patrick Tuttle at 915-588-1850. Call him today.
El Paso History TV is now available for free on YouTube.com. Take a look at recent ABC 7 news reports by Bernie Sargent on El Paso History TV about Waco tanks, the Franklin Mountains, Concordia Cemetery, and more. The YouTube channel also has more than 100 videos about El Paso history with lectures, documentaries, and various history clips. Go to youtube.com/El Paso History TV and find out how Texas history begins in El Paso. Monterey Asset Management is proud to sponsor the El Paso History Show. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, maybe you should invest in real estate. Monterey Asset manages apartments in El Paso and helps investors buy, hold, and sell property. See the new website, m1ep.com, m1ep.com. To learn more about the many benefits and long-term appreciation of investing in real estate, call Certified Property Manager Ray Baca, 915-592-4549, 592-4549.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Ralph Dickerson is ready to help you combine home and auto and save here in El Paso. Call 915-581-0000 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live with video right here on our El Paso History Radio Show page on Facebook.com. Our live streaming on Facebook started on November 21st, 2020, with our tribute to Leon Metz, which you can now listen to here on our Facebook page, El Paso History Radio Show. Scroll down our page to find that archive in our videos section. You are listening to a break in our Facebook streaming of the El Paso History Radio Show, which airs live on KTSM AM 690 in El Paso, Texas, and live right here now.
Are you there? Are we here? Are you ready to talk? Guess what?
What?
The city of El Paso is going to reopen the Museum of Archaeology. Yay! The Museums and Cultural Affairs Department, known as MCAD, is excited to announce the reopening of the El Paso Museum of Archaeology, 4301 Trans Mountain Road, beginning Thursday, June 24th. The COVID-19 nonsense pandemic forced the closure of the museum in March of 2020. The reopening of the museum comes under advisement from the Department of Public Health and Office of Emergency Management. They got official permission. And part of the continued reactivation of the city services, the reopening of the Museum of Archaeology, along with the reopening of the Camp Cohen Water Park, are great illustrators of our commitment to enhancing the quality of life in Northeast El Paso and for all El Pasoans. BS. And said Cultural Affairs and Recreation Manager, Director Ben Fife. I shouldn't say that. The Museum of Archaeology will be open from 9 to 5, Thursday through Saturday. That's in alignments with the days of the other museums downtown. So it's going to be short, but it'll be there.
Yeah, and visitors will be able to enjoy the exhibition From the Edge of the Center, the Chacon Outliers. The exhibit includes many artifacts from the museum's permanent collection, as well as objects on loan from the Salmon Ruins located near Farmington, New Mexico, and the San Juan County Museum Association. About the El Paso Museum of Archaeology, the museum features 14,000 years of prehistoric history in the El Paso area and the greater Southwest and northern Mexico, and has dioramas, exhibits. It's just another great museum. People need to go. It's great to get the kids. Kids are always amazed in there. They love it. So head on out there.
Well, they've got great dioramas in there and big pictures in the. And have you been there?
Oh, you bet. It's great.
And you walk into the one section on the right-hand side.
With the mammoths?
The mammoths, and a bunch of,
have the spears?
Stick figure guys sticking this poor little mammoth. Do you realize that's a baby mammoth?
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's actual size, but if a real one was there, his head would be up outside the roof.
So that's woolly mammoth venison? That's what I'm not venison. What is it, the young cattle?
Bison?
No, never
That's
mind.
a cow.
I lost my jaw. I screwed up my jaw.
I have no idea where that went.
We know airplanes.
Yeah, let's talk airplane. Okay, but
veal. It was veal. That's what
this
I'm
is
saying.
our
It's
last
venison
segment, and
veal.
we're almost gone. So how do you get a hold of? How do you get to this museum? What do you do? How do you get there? What's the phone number?
The phone number is 575-589-2000. It's right up Artcraft. Easiest way is off I-10, Artcraft exit. Go west across the valley. You go all the way across the valley, and you come up back out of the valley next to the industrial park. The light up there is airport, and you make a right, and you follow it through all the maquilas, through the factories, and there we are.
Generally, you head for that big antenna with the weather guys.
Yeah,
and you're next door to that.
The landmark is the big weather station with
Yeah.
the giant radome up on top of it.
And what hours are you open?
We're open 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock, Wednesdays through Sundays. We're closed Mondays and Tuesdays.
And you have pretty good signage out there to find the museum too, right?
Yeah, it is. There's signs that lead the way, and we're thinking about trying to open up on Tuesdays again. We used to be open or closed only on Mondays, and we'd like to get back to that. But right now we're still closed Monday, Tuesday.
Great place to go.
Yeah, thank you.
And take a look at. What would you say, Dan Taylor, is the reason somebody should go there?
If a person wants to learn about World War II, if a person wants to learn about aviation, we have a great exhibit for Continental Airlines. We have a lot of things about the airlines' early years. People wanting to get into aviation as far as being a pilot, learning about scientific things about the engineering behind aviation, learning about the Wright brothers. You cannot safely look at everything within 4 hours, in my opinion. If you want to look at everything, it takes a lot of time. It's well worth your time.
Cliff, why go there?
We have a resource in some of our docents. We have people who have history tied to aviation, tied to the military, tied to various aspects of life that can add a lot to experience. We have a former B-52 aircraft commander. Your favorite
That's close.
airplane. That's close.
But it's just a guy.
We have the pilot. We need the airplane.
Yeah. Tell him to bring his toys next time.
And he flew B-47s also.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's a weird airplane.
And so you can do great tours too, with both private groups and with schools. And
You'll take school tours, sure.
Yes, and a lot of times there'll be somebody wandering around in the museum, one of the docents, one of the volunteers, that will be more than happy to provide tours, background information.
Take a look at it, folks. It's out there on the horizon in Santa Teresa, New Mexico. You can't miss it, right?
No, it's
you can't miss it.
Got to go. It's a
Gentlemen,
great place.
thank you very much for being here today. We'll see some of you at Pepe's. Other of you at home duties because you got to go do that. Melissa, we'll see you out there.
I need to bum a ride for me.
And Andrew, you're going out there. We're going to have a full car. It'll be great
That's
stuff. Everybody else, we'll see you next week or at Pepe's today. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye-bye.